Are you recording the audio?
It's time for Dart Talk. Brought to you by thedartzone.com. Stay in the zone. Thedartzone.com is an official Cosmo distributor and Windy City Fabricators, America's premier fabricators of orthotics and prosthetics. And Redwood Darts, America's newest tungsten darts. Stand straight and tall and hit them all. Redwood Darts. And now, here are your hosts, Mystery Mark and Steve P.
Okay, welcome to Dart Talk.
Welcome.
We're here.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad.
Dart Talk, brought to you by the Dart Zone.
Stay in the zone.
TheDartZone.com is an official Cosmo distributor. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in and listening. Apparently, it was the worst show we ever did last week, according to to one listener.
All right. Well, one has to be bad. You know, something has to be the worst, right? Even if they're all good, one of them's the worst of all good.
I could think of a few shows that were worse, but you know we will carry on because you know part of it is showing up, which I will do this weekend in Nashville. I will show up.
All right.
I like the sound
You
of
like
that.
Nashville?
Yeah. Well, my legs are tired. I had a tour of Europe over the weekend.
All right.
I was in Berlin.
A tour of Europe in Ohio?
I was in Berlin. I was in Warsaw. I was in Lima. Well, that's not in Europe. That's in Peru.
All right.
Right? And, you know, we're trying. I had a family reunion. So I had to go to I was in Columbus, actually. And Gordon Dixon was nice enough to, you know, tell me about a blind draw that I couldn't make it because I had to drive to the old family, my mom's town, Shelby, Ohio. So I was in Shelby. And we decided to, because we took some state route, like 314 or something, to get to Shelby. And, you know, we're driving down this, like, two-lane blacktop, kind of little rolling hills, lots of trees and farms and la-di-da-di-da. And all of a sudden, there's, like, a horse and a buggy. And we're like, what?
Where are we?
And he's got, like, the triangle sign you put on the back of a
caution
tractor,
sign,
right?
Right.
So I'm like, well, this is kind of weird. So I go to this family reunion. Take a wild guess. How many cousins? Not second, third cousins, and once removed.
The wild
guess
I took was in the car, so I already know the answer.
Just
but
repeat
originally,
it.
I guessed 30.
And I said, go higher.
Then I said 50.
And I said, go higher.
Then I said I was done guessing.
I have 68 cousins.
68.
68 cousins. And most of them could walk right in front of me, and I wouldn't.
That's what I asked
recognize
you. Do you
them.
know them all?
Yeah. Well, I don't know the Ohio ones because I don't see them that often. And you know, when we did go every year, you know, we were kids, and now everybody's older, and I'm like, wow, I thought I had gray hair, right?
Right.
So it was
That's a lot,
actually
68 cousins. Ooh.
It seems like a lot to me, you know. And then they stopped counting like the great grandchildren like in '85, so nobody knows for sure how many descendants my grandparents have. But they have quite a few. So that was, I just found the number 68 to be,
Were they
kind
all
of
at the
interesting.
reunion?
No. No, but there were, I don't know, maybe 20, various ages, right? And it's funny, somebody put a list together and then started numbering them in order of birth. So who was the first grandchild who would be my cousin once I'm born, right? He got a number 1. Then they listed number 2. Then they listed number 3. It's the thing about
How
big
old was
families.
the oldest cousin?
44, born in 44.
Oh,
so he
okay.
would be 56, 69.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's with us anymore. So, yeah, my oldest cousin's pushing 70, right? So that's me being 27, that's quite a age range. But it struck me as really funny because in big families run kind of in a hierarchy where there's no real movement. So it's important to be the first, right? I'm 43rd. And I'm looking at 43rd, and I'm like, okay, I guess. And then I'm talking to one of my cousins, and she was like, 55th. And I'm like, does that mean you have to go get my drinks?
I
right?
bet you like that.
Well, we were laughing because it's always like the oldest.
Yeah.
If you're older than your sibling, then you get to boss them around. They
Right.
have to, you're in charge of the remote control and the TV, all this stuff. That's why part of the reason I'm a mess. No, but it was fun. All these towns that are named after, cities in Europe and stuff. And then, so we saw the horse and buggy. I'm talking to cousin he's number 9. So he's older than me, considerably. And he lives in Loudenburg, Ohio, which I'd never heard of. And he's talking about it like I would have heard of it. There's 1,100 people living in this town. And he's like,
Oh, really?
Well, you probably, he's down 39
how have
there.
you not heard of Loudenburg then?
Yeah, right. So 6'5".
Yeah.
All right. You could have pointed that out to me. Well, no. So we're talking to him, and Loudenburg is in Holmes County, which is the county with the most Amish.
Okay.
Anywhere in America except Lancaster, PA.
That's
so he's
good
like,
to know.
So he's like, well, you take this road, you take 39, and then it's going to take you a little bit, and then you go through this town, and then pretty soon, you're in Middlesburg, and that's where the Amish have their little stores and stuff. So Jill's like, oh, we should do that. Wow, Ohio's got some pretty steep hills.
All right.
On Highway 39. So we take Highway 39, and all of a sudden it's horse and buggy central.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and people are walking around with like Amish stuff, and then you see a Mennonite because they dress with more color. All these horse and buggies on interstates, I was amazed. So then I see a sign that says
Did
Winesburg.
you go to the Amish shops?
Well, most of them are closed because it was late in the afternoon on Saturdays. So we got Amish ice cream, milkshake.
Okay.
It was okay.
All right.
It reminded me of John Travolta with is that $5 milkshake? Let me taste that. That's smoking ice cream for $5. Really? I want to try that. From Pulp Fiction. Base is loaded. I'm distracted here.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, I see a sign for Winesburg, Ohio, which I don't know how many
I had never heard of, but apparently you had.
As an English major, where they teach you American short stories, there is a guy who wrote this collection of short stories, and it was named Winesburg, Ohio. All this kind of slice of life, Middletown, small town America, all these values that don't exist anymore, whatever. So I'm like, well, I want to go to Winesburg. It's only 7 miles away. Well, by the time I get to Winesburg and I realize it's a bunch of Mennonite farms, I'm very disappointed. And then I'm like, wow, I'm only 10 miles from Massillon, where they invented pro football.
Oh, seriously?
Seriously.
Oh,
and
I
then
didn't know that.
I'm only 20 miles from Canton, but it's like 5:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, we can't really do the Hall of Fame, but Jill likes Hall of Fame. So I don't know. We got back to Columbus. It was so late that we missed the free happy hour.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah. Can you believe this? A hotel with a 2-hour happy hour, free beer, free wine, and free food.
Wow.
And we missed it.
Yeah, no, I can't believe that.
Taking the grand tour of Middle
How did you
Eastern
miss that?
Ohio. Hey, man, you got to go see the Amish. Those beards are pretty impressive. I got to tell you. Yeah, they're more impressive than some of the relievers I've seen.
Sure.
In the bullpens, anyway. So it was kind of interesting running around Ohio. I just thought I'd mention it. I'm just
All
kind
right.
of babbling along. Your weekend got rained out.
Yeah, my weekend got rained out.
Disclaim everything in case my
The
cousins are
views,
listening.
opinions, rants, and rampages expressed on Dart Talk do not necessarily reflect individually or collectively those of our sponsors, co-sponsors, wannabe hosts, hearing-impaired critics, or those with a penchant for attitudinal dysfunction. We at Dart Talk strive to provide you, the listener, with an educational, entertaining, and fun-filled experience each and every week. If after the show you, the listener, find yourself feeling uneducated, unentertained, and or bored, we at Dart Talk consider that your own problem.
You have a problem with people whose last names are like 2 nouns?
No.
Okay.
Do you?
Well, yeah, I prefer that those people don't have those names. So we have a backup catcher named Teagarden.
Yeah.
Well, he got a base hit, so I guess I got to get
So
off
now
that.
you don't- yeah.
I'm going to have to
Now you kinda like
reassess my value system. We've got match play results. We
do.
got the PDC match play, what was today, day 5?
Yes.
Some real compelling matches, I thought, and we'll get to those after the break. Also, we have the brackets. We'll preview the first Championship Darts Circuit Matchplay, which is Friday. So you guys going to Nashville for the Music City Classic need to get there early Friday and see some of these guys duking it out. Long format.
Mm-hmm.
It's you got to win by 2, race to 6, and then they're going to pull the plug if it gets to 7-7 and do a deciding leg.
Okay.
I'm not terribly fond of that. I understand that there's time constraints, so
Sure.
you kind of have no choice. But, the idea that you have to win by a break, I really like that.
Did you say race to 6?
Yeah, race to 6. You got to win 6.
Yeah, but so then if it's...
So it's best of 11.
But if it's 7-7,
Yeah.
all you're doing is playing 2 extra matches, and then all of a sudden...
Well, it's 3 extra legs, though. So you could win 6-4,
Yeah.
but you can't win 6-5. You got to win 7-5.
Okay.
Right? You got to win by
and then
2.
if it's 7-6...
So, yeah. So, I mean, if it...
It
yeah,
could be 8-6, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you could win 8-6.
It doesn't seem like it's that long of a win by 2 to me.
Well, that's the
I could
thing.
see if
I
it got to
mean-
like 10-10.
Well, but, when you have to play 4 rounds...
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's another event
Yeah,
starting
3
later.
extra legs. That could take, and then you keep... If that keeps adding up, it could...
Some of these guys are notoriously late to the board, too. So we will preview some of the most compelling matches. We can make our picks now that we see kind of who's confirmed that they're going. We couldn't really do it last week. I mean, I kind of knew who was going to be playing. But,
Right.
Now we know who's playing who and who's. There's a couple of really tough brackets, too. So we'll get to that after the first break. What'd you do? Nothing this week? Your golf got rained out?
Yeah, well, golf, they didn't allow carts, and 2 of the guys I was playing with that I rode with, one of the guys had a bum knee, and we didn't call ahead of time. So the minute he got out of the car and found out there was no carts, he was like, well, I can't play. And the other guy I was playing with decided that since he had to work in the evening and has to walk around a lot during work, didn't want to walk around the golf course and then go to work.
You realize that you could literally take a bus for 5 minutes and be at a golf course from your front door.
Yeah. I'd have to have my golf clubs with me.
Yeah.
They're up in the suburbs.
You need
But
like a
I need to get a
spare
second set.
pair.
I know.
It's not like a set of darts that you could throw in your back pocket. I mean,
I've thought about it, though, yes. I need to have...
you've got a nice set. Those forged irons are excellent. I don't know why you
Well, those are
they're
my
a little
mom's.
harder to hit,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know why you don't find the one that's missing and use those. Those are fantastic irons.
Well, the 4 iron's missing. That one broke.
What's the wood equivalent of a 4-iron? 5 wood? 6 wood?
Well, they have 4 iron hybrids now, so you don't even,
I can't go on a course without a 4-iron. All right, where are we? I'm just babbling here.
We
I'm
got 3
distracted.
minutes.
There's
So-
the Cubs game is like into like the
Well,
bottom
so
of
other
the ninth.
than other than the match play in CDC, what else you got?
Well, I've been practicing some. I've been practicing a little bit, and I now have simplified my approach about as simple as I possibly can. All the mind chatter that you get. Here's the problem that a lot of people do when they practice. They start worrying about technique and stuff like this, and then their minds get used to having all this chatter, and then they go to a tournament, and the chatter starts, as they're warming up, and they never get the focus that the good players have that aren't, kind of worried about this stuff. So I was watching DJ Sayre hitting. I'm a big DJ Sayre fan. He is hitting the ball. He's hitting like 400. The new Cubs catcher.
Okay, that's DJ Sayre.
Yeah, it's DJ Sayre. He's doing real well. And his approach at the plate is so obviously simple. He's aggressive, and he's looking for a pitch to hit, and if he sees something he thinks he can hit, he
Right.
takes a swing at it.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science. I'm keeping it stupid.
Mm-hmm.
That's my new motto for darts. Keep it stupid. Don't think. Can only
Okay.
hurt the team, right? So that's I know
See
what
how
the
that
number,
works
I
for
know
you.
what the I know what the numbers are.
Yeah.
I know what I'm going to do when I got 80 left. I know what I'm going to do when I have 90 left. I know what I'm going to do when I have 129 left. There's not a whole lot of thought involved with anything. So I'm going to keep it stupid. I should put that on a T-shirt. There's a T-shirt shop down the street. They have a new T-shirt almost every day I walk by it. The one they had today I thought was funny. It said, "I may be old, but I've seen all the good bands."
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I don't
like
want to
that.
really admit that I'm old, but I
Right.
thought that was a good T-shirt.
People know it, so you don't have to admit it.
Well, you don't have to tell anyone.
Well, I'm not going around telling everybody.
You just told the entire world.
I said they know it. I didn't say it's true.
How
If I said that it was true, then I would have just told everybody.
How many
that you
cousins do you have? Like
know.
5?
5, yeah. Not many. I have like 3
What is
cousins.
the average number
I have
of
like
cousins
3
somebody
cousins.
should have?
I have a small. I have like 3 cousins and like 2 second cousins.
If everyone, well, I'm not even.
I know.
Forget
that's
about
it.
that.
I mean,
Forget about that.
that's about it.
I'd be in triple digits. And then you said somebody's got 100 cousins, or somebody has
There was
100
an article on
grandchildren.
MSN, like anywhere from a couple weeks to a month ago or something, that some couple just had their 100th grandchild.
So then you wouldn't have 100 cousins. The most you could have is 99.
Yeah. At this point, they could still have another.
Right. Yeah, we don't know where. Keep us posted on
Yeah,
that.
I'll see if that article comes up again.
68 cousins. I can't wrap my head around that, so we're going to take a break. You're listening
On
to
that
Dart
note.
Talk. We'll come back and talk PDC match play in a minute.
The views and opinions expressed on Dart Talk are those of the hosts. They in no way should be misrepresented, misinterpreted, or made to claim that the universe is against you, your family, your city, or the darting community at large.
Okay, back for the second inning of Dart Talk, brought to you by the Dart Zone.
Stay in the zone.
TheDartZone.com is an official Cosmo distributor. Thanks also Windy City Fabricators, Redwood Darts, Melissa, Aaron, Sam the intern. Oh, and did I mention our new official mascots?
You have not.
Okay. It's relatively rare, especially for a city boy, but we have, Jill and I live in a high-rise right on Lake Michigan. And we have balconies that face south. So we could sit, side or kind of turn our heads and look at the lake, but the building faces south with all these balconies. It's like 30 stories high. So apparently these peregrine falcons, which were endangered for a long time.
There's some in Evanston, too.
Yeah. They decided to nest in one of the upper balconies in our building, right? So the guy that owns the place basically gave up his balcony, put down a tarp. They were there last year. They laid an egg and then kicked it out of the nest for some reason. What?
It's over.
It says 5-5.
Yeah.
Not
anymore.
Go Cubs. Huge to beat Chapman like that. Anyway, so these Falcons came back this year and had 4 babies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're hunting now. The babies are hunting, and I was on the balcony yesterday, and they're like kind of kicking each other off of rooftops that we can see. Like one is like a quarter mile down, one's kitty corner from us. So I'm looking and I'm like, well, there's one. Is that one? And they're hunting. So we're watching them from the balcony. We got like a bird show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I decided, because the guy whose balcony they selected named the guy Papa Steve and the mom Mama Linda. So I was like, Papa Steve. Well, that's cool. Why don't we make them the official mascots of Dart Talk?
Okay.
So we're gonna have Papa Steve and Mama Linda. We'll see if we can get them on Twitter.
All right.
And they can tweet out things
can we
that
get a
they
picture of them?
see. Yeah,
All right.
We got pictures. I guarantee you, one of our listeners, the minute you said that, is like, "Oh, I got one."
Yeah.
So we'll have to do a little.
Yeah, the ones in
do a little
Evanston,
magic.
the ones in Evanston have nested up by Northwestern campus, but they kind of find their prey and come to our building and
Oh yeah,
and eat and drop the remains on our roof.
sweet. Well,
It's kind of funny.
it's weird. They don't have any predators, and they were endangered for a long time. So like they found some at the Uptown Theater, and so they couldn't tear it down. But they're kind of off the list now because they have no predators in Chicago. They're like top of the food chain.
Mm-hmm.
So they're really cool to watch. I mean, they're big birds.
Yeah.
And they're the fastest animals on the planet. They
Really?
They dive at like 240 miles an hour.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. You would think eagles would dive faster, but apparently they're not built like bullets like these falcons are. Anyway, so our official mascots, Papa Steve and Mama Linda, the peregrines. We like that. We'll get them on Twitter. So match play. There were a couple of things that we warned people about. I didn't have time to pull them audio. But remember I said Terry Jenkins could be in trouble?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, watch out for Keegan Brown.
Yes.
Or Keegan Bradley.
Keegan Bradley's the golfer.
Okay, then it's Keegan Brown. Okay, I mixed that up.
Yeah.
So let's go through the results from Monday, which would have been
Monday,
the
the
day
20th.
after our last show.
Right.
Yeah. Let's catch everybody up.
The aforementioned Keegan Brown beat Robert Thornton 10-7.
10-7. Okay.
Chisnell beat Caven 13-11. Phil Taylor took care of John Henderson 10-2. Andy Hamilton beat Raymond Van Barneveld 10-7.
Yeah, that's one of those matches where it's kind of like, really? Andy Hamilton? But it makes sense to me somehow that, somebody like Barney, who, has to do a lot of traveling because he still lives in Holland, I could see in the middle of summer him being a little burned out after Premier League and everything. Yeah. So, a subpar performance and Andy Hamilton advances. Yeah, it's not going to enhance my viewing pleasure, but good for Andy.
Yeah, so that
can't
was
stand watching him play. I just can't stand it.
That was Monday. I mean, the Chizzy match had to be pretty compelling. 13-11.
Yeah, 13-11. So they're going a little overtime there, and Chizzy gets by. I can't remember if
they were both bad at their doubles.
Yeah, well, that's pressure. That's first round pressure where you're not taking advantage of your chances. I mean, that was the thing about Chizzy in the Premier League. It looked like he had sorted that out, and then you see that, it makes you wonder how far he can go. You get some extra shots when you can score like him. What's next?
So day 2. Peter Wright beat Andrew Gilding 13-7. Ian White beat Whitlock 13-9.
Wait, what day are you on?
Well, I thought I was on day 2, but did I get this backwards?
I think you did.
No, but that's the 21st. But this is the only. I'm confused.
Okay, that's awesome.
But they have no other matches here for day 1.
Okay, so go to day 2. Was that day 2 you're reading off? Whitlock and Ian White played in the first round. I thought somebody else was playing there.
Well, this is day 1.
Okay.
So that's all I got. So
All
day
right.
2.
So what's day 2?
Day 2 is Gilding loses to Peter Wright 13-7. Whitlock loses to Ian White 13-9. Van Gerwen beats Jamie Lewis 13-2. And Gerwin Price beat Adrian Lewis 13-10.
13-10.
Yeah.
Wow. Who saw that one coming? Who saw Adrian Lewis out in the first round? I mean, I just can't see.
He outthrew him by average, but
well, what was the doubles percentage?
40 to 45% for Price.
Well, then he outscored him too. Wow. Who saw that coming? That's a huge upset. You would have gotten a massive price on that guy.
Yeah. Well, I could tell you what the price was.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, 1-12 for Adrian Lewis. Well, see, that's why this is all screwed up. Because that had to be the second round.
Yeah. It doesn't look like it.
So I had to miss something.
Okay. So this is all messed up here.
Yeah. We'll have to figure
Yeah,
we'll have
see,
to write
Mervyn
this shit.
King played.
All right, there we are.
Yeah. Okay.
So so they played on the 19th.
Okay.
That's where I think I'm screwed up.
Okay. Who played?
First round, Gilding beat Mervyn King.
Okay, beat Mervyn.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Yeah, so that was the second. Okay.
Ian White beat Stephen Bunting 10-6.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
Okay.
Jamie Lewis beat Justin Pipe 10-7. And
yeah, Justin Pipe going down, I think, is a sign of the further demise of Justin Pipe. I can see him going away.
Okay.
I think if
I've
Justin
got it
Pipe,
now. If we want, can we start over?
Well, we are live. It is a live show.
Let's try and start over because you said something about the 20th, which got me all screwed up. They actually started on the 18th, Saturday the 18th.
Okay.
So, here we go. Simon Whitlock beats Yelly Clausen 10-4.
Okay.
Peter Wright beats Hybrix 10-5.
Wow, I thought that was going to be a closer match than 10-5.
I could tell you some stats if you want to know.
Yeah, kind of interested by that.
Peter Wright threw 108.
Yeah, see.
So he just dominated. 50% on his doubles and throws 108. Hybrix threw 95, so he didn't.
Well, 108 to 95. If it's basketball, you'd say it was a blowout.
And Wright took out a 161 and 4 breaks a throw.
Wow, that's pretty good.
So,
161.
All right, so then you got Van Gerwen beating Benito Van de Pas 10-4.
Yeah, which was a no-brainer.
And then Adrian Lewis wins his first match and beats Joe Mernon 10-7.
Okay. Yeah, because it's first round.
Yes.
It's race to 10.
First round.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Saturday. Then now we're on Sunday, the next other first round.
Okay.
2 sessions. The afternoon session, Gilding beats Mervyn King 10-8.
Okay, which is I would have to say youth being served there, but probably most of the money was on Mervyn.
Yeah, probably.
He's done well in this tournament before.
Ian White beats Bunting 10-6.
Yeah, and that was kind of I was wondering where Bunting was going to end up.
Was that a little bit of an upset?
I don't know. I think, Ian White was playing so for so long,
Ian
and
White
then he
was
kind
slightly
of
favored.
Ian White and Peter Wright are the guys that were playing really, really well that sort of like they've been through kind of a long lull lately. So, a big major tournament like this, they're turning it up, big time. I like that.
Then Jamie Lewis beats Justin Pipe 10-7.
Yeah, I think we can safely say if Pipe drops much further, if he's out of the top 32 where he's going to have to start qualifying again, I don't know if he's going to do it. He never looks that interested to me. As far as like, being like all gung-ho crazy dart player guy.
Right.
I don't know, we'll see.
He's lost interest maybe, like some people we know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Gerwin Price then beats
Nice.
Michael Smith 10-4.
Yeah, Bully Boy gets served. I don't know what to say about that. Mental.
Well,
He's mental.
Yeah. Neither one of them threw very well. Gerwin Price just hit a good amount of 53% on his doubles.
53 to 33.
Yeah, to take him out. So then in the evening, Now you have Brendan Dolan beats Vincent van der Voort 10-6. Metzer Sulevic beat Terry Jenkins 11-9.
And I think that was the one that we told everybody that if you want to take a flyer on somebody, you take it on Sulevic.
I believe so.
Yeah,
Let's see. His
sounded
odds.
pretty smart on that one.
Yeah, because he was 11. Yeah, that's the one we said.
Yeah, and he gets by Terry, and that's first round, so that one actually went into overtime. Right, they were 10-10.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, tough loss.
And then Gary Anderson beats Steve Beaton 10-4.
Yeah, no surprise there.
And James Wade wins 10-7 over Kyle Anderson.
Yeah, well, 10-7. All right. I mean, you kind of like the established guys, kind of getting by.
Mm-hmm.
But some decent showings, I would say, by the losers in the first round. I mean, only a couple of them really played bad, and one was Barney. I mean, if you're going to throw 95 and lose to a guy that throws 108, you got to shake his hand and say, nice match. I mean, you can't beat yourself up too much. I mean, whatever doubles you missed that, might have changed momentum or what have you. But outside of that, you can't really be crying too much unless you're Phil Taylor and you're used to averaging 103. Right?
All right. So now we get back to the second round, which I have already stated, I believe.
Okay.
So that, which I have now lost it again, but here it is. So now, this is Monday the 20th. This is still the first round.
Yeah, this is still the first round,
right.
Where Keegan Brown beats
Thornton.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so we did that. Chisnell beats Caven, Taylor beats Henderson, and that's where Van Barneveld lost. All right. So
and that was in the first round.
That is the end of the first round.
Okay.
So, you want to do the second round?
Let's take a quick break and make sure we have the second round, and then we'll come back and we'll finish up with
with another plan.
Yeah, we'll finish up with the PDC in a minute. You're listening to Dart Talk with Mystery Mark, Steve Ponce-Yellman. Cubs win. Cubs win. We'll be right back.
Dart Talk agrees to adhere to the Geneva Convention in treating fairly its prisoners in their war against lackluster darting administration and behaviour.
Hey, back for the second half of Dart Talk, brought to you by the Dart Zone.
Stay in the zone.
TheDartZone.com is an official Cosmo distributor. We're running through the PDC World Matchplay at Blackpool.
And we've righted the ship.
We've righted the ship. We've realized the source of our confusion and moved on. We'll try to do better next week.
Well,
hopefully we don't get a message from the same guy saying, "Oh, I stand corrected. This was the worst show you ever did."
We might. Should
so
I
where
check
are
the
we?
chat real quick?
Have you been? Has that been working today? The chat?
There was a glitch early. I think it's all right right now.
Oh, it doesn't like your laptop.
All
I
right.
don't know
So
why.
second round on Tuesday, July 21st. Peter Wright beats Andrew Gilding 13-7.
Wow, that is a spanking. 13-7 is a spanking. That's 2-1.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty good.
Ian White beat Simon Whitlock 13-9.
Close, but
And
you know, plenty of room there.
here's a spanking. Van Gerwen wins 13-2 over Jamie Lewis.
And he averaged what, like 110 something?
No, well, I don't think it was that high. I might have been. It was, 110.
Yeah.
Lewis averaged almost 100.
Well, yeah, because he doesn't have to shoot it a
Yeah,
double.
right.
All he does is like get down and then start the next leg.
Right. Van Gerwen shot 59% of his doubles, 13 out of 22. So you throw 110 and
13 out of 22.
pound your outs.
Wow, that's pretty good.
So
13 out of 22.
and then
That's better than good. That's stellar.
yeah, almost 60%. And then your last match, Gerwin Price beat Adrian Lewis 13-10.
13-10. And then you said that he outscored him as well as like outfinished them.
No. Adrian Lewis outscored him, but Gerwin Price outfinished him.
Oh, is that what it was?
45% to 40.
Well, that's almost a 5%.
Yeah. He had 4 more shots at the double, and he had 3 out of those 4.
Well, 4 more shots at a double in 23 legs.
Yeah.
Wow. That's rough.
But they hit the same amount of ton 80s. Everything else is pretty close.
Well, Gerwin Price is a much better player than I thought he was. He's already into the top 8.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I didn't see that coming. So that's going to mess up somebody's bracket.
His initial odds, who was Gerwin Price playing in the first round?
Jeez. Was it
He was 11. He
Thornton?
was Michael Smith, and Michael
Oh,
Smith was
Smith.
a 2-7 favorite.
Yeah, Smith was Bully Boy was a big favorite.
Big favorite.
Yeah, he took care of him. And I think Bully Boy's the kind of player where if things start out badly, he can't get himself back into the match. And he'll have to address that at some point if he wants to progress.
And then today, you had the rest of the second round. Dave Chisnell squeaks by Keegan Brown, 13-11.
13-11.
Good match.
Yeah.
James Wade beats Brendan Dolan, 13-8.
Not a shock.
Phil Taylor beats Andy Hamilton, 13-6.
I would have thought that Hamilton would be closer if he's on his game at all. 13-6 is quite a pasting.
Yeah, Taylor he only threw 89, almost 90.
Who, Hamilton?
Hamilton. Yeah, he didn't
Oh.
throw well.
That's woeful. What Taylor averaged, like 100?
Almost 100. Taylor was still
Under no pressure.
only 39% on his doubles, but then Hamilton,
Was even worse?
27, 6 out of 22. Yeah, he didn't.
Wow, that's brutal.
He didn't bring it.
But here comes the bracket buster.
And then the next upset, Gerwin Price is an upset, and Menser Sulovic beats Gary Anderson 13-9.
And Gary Anderson, what did he throw?
90, almost 92.5.
He beat him throwing 92.5.
Anderson threw 94.
And what was his percentage on doubles?
Sulovic's was 31%.
42 shots at a double, and he only hit 13.
Yeah. Gary Anderson was 9 out of 35.
So Sulovic had 7 more shots at a double.
Yeah.
Okay, Gary Anderson didn't show up.
That's a lot of shots at 42 and 35. That's 77 shots at doubles.
Yeah, I mean, Sulovic's probably should have averaged like, in the high 90s. Given, you look at his ton 80s, ton 40s.
Right.
If he averages, if he hits his doubles a little quicker, he's going to average about, 95, 97, something like that. But we already said that that's inadequate for this day and age. So it looks to me like Anderson didn't show up at all.
Yeah, Anderson hit 9-ton 80s, but the biggest difference is Sulovic hit 37 tons to 19.
Yeah, see, that's
so he was slowly scoring and.
Well, he's consistently, getting 1 out of 2, 2 out of 3, or 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 1 out of 3, 1 out of 3, and he's around.
Yeah.
And you're not going to go anywhere with that, but. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. I'm going to look back on that match. I'm going to go look that up in the archive and watch it. I didn't get a chance to see it today, and I'm actually in shock that. I'm not shocked that he beat Jenkins. I'm shocked that he beat Anderson.
Right.
Because, I don't think Terry Jenkins is really, playing all that often. Anderson, he plays everything.
Yeah, no, I mean, your good money bet was on him in the first round, but I don't think we would have doubled up on him.
No, I would not have doubled up on that. Okay, so who's left? Who's playing tomorrow?
Here's your odds for the final 8. Van Gerwen's basically even money, 10-11. Phil Taylor is 15-8. James Wade is 8-1. Peter Wright's 12-1. Chisnell's 14-1. Ian White 50-1. Sulovic 50-1, and Gerwin Price 80-1. So those are your 8.
Well, okay, 80-1 is I wouldn't go near that. But Ian White at 50-1 after didn't you say he averaged 108 or Peter Wright did? One of them did.
Peter Wright did.
You averaged 108, and what are your odds?
12-1. But you're also
who's playing who's playing Van Gerwen?
I don't have.
Let's eliminate that.
Right.
You don't have the.
Do they? Yeah, I don't have.
You don't have the
round.
bracket?
No.
I thought you did.
No, I told you I didn't have the bracket.
Yeah, it's right in front of you.
Where?
Well, look. See, they got the seeds. So 1 plays 4. You have to kind of piece it together from the list.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Well, Sulovic would. It doesn't say. Is this? It's not listed 1, 2, 3.
Oh, you
4.
don't have the seeds there?
No, it doesn't give the seeds. Those are just the odds from the beginning. It doesn't have.
Wow, we're like so woefully unprepared for this segment.
Seeds.
I'm impressed that we've gotten this far. So, well, okay. Sulovic slings them, and that's why I'm always shocked that he plays well.
My guess, just from the odds, would be that Gerwin Price plays Van Gerwen.
Okay, let's take our last break, and we'll come back and actually have the matches for tomorrow for you, and we'll preview those. You're listening to Dart Talk with Mystery Mark, Steve Ponce, and we'll be right back.
You are now and forevermore warned that you consume this show at your own risk, and that Dart Talk cannot be brought to justice in any court or by any government, including and not restricted to the grand spaghetti monster of the Triple 20.
Okay, back for the fourth quarter of Dart Talk, brought to you by the Dart Zone.
Stay in the zone.
TheDartZone.com is an official Cosmo distributor. All right, so we got the matches for tomorrow, top 8.
Correct.
Four matches. I would say all of them are compelling. What's the first one?
Van Gerwen against Ian White.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, if anybody's got the bottle to stand up to Van Gerwen raining triple 20s on you, it's Ian White. Ian White won't get rattled. I'm not saying Ian White can stay with Van Gerwen at his A-plus game. But if Van Gerwen comes out like I've seen him do in later rounds where he starts out a little bit slow, especially the first few legs, if White comes out sharp and gets a lead, he can bag him.
Best of 31.
Yeah. I mean, you're getting to the point
You need
now
quite a
where,
lead.
well, you get up a couple of breaks, and as the match progresses, if you're hard to break,
Just hold on to the raft.
there's more and more pressure, and then maybe you get a shot to get another break. I mean, I can visualize Ian White winning. I just don't think it's all that likely.
Well, everybody's beatable. But
Van Gerwen's going to be a heavy favorite there, but Ian White was 50-1.
I believe that's what it was. Yes.
Well, if you could get 50-1 on Ian White, that's a good long
might be
shot.
worth a flyer.
Yeah, 50-1.
Mm-hmm. Then you have Peter Wright against Gerwin Price.
And Wright's going to be favored.
Hot. Yes.
Yeah, Wright, it was the guy. Well, he had the third price on him. He was 12-1.
Correct.
Right, and then obviously Gerwin Price hasn't.
It's the longest shot on the board.
He hasn't gotten much respect from the bettors anyway.
But he's beat. What did I say? He beat the 13 seed, and then he beat the 3 seed. So.
Yeah, I mean he screwed up everyone's bracket, but his mom's.
Now he's got right now he's got to beat the 5 seed. So.
It'll be interesting. It'd be a heck of a run.
The Phil Taylor, Dave Chisnell, I would think should be a good match.
Yeah, I mean Chizzy's gotten them before, but he hasn't gotten them lately, and Phil's kind of in a weird position. I mean, a guy like Phil Taylor not being spoken of as the guy to beat, but there he is lurking,
Well, but
you just see this dorsal fin in the water.
Into the tournament.
Yeah. Well, because he's number 2 on the money list.
Yeah.
But the money list goes back 2 years, so, it'd be interesting.
And then your final match is the James Wade Metzer Sulovic.
I could see Wade losing to Sulovic and quitting the game. He really. Sulovic doesn't
throw your darts in the trash and walk away.
No one is going to go on TV and say Sulovic is not like in the class of these upper echelon players, but he doesn't seem to have a problem beating them this week. And how reliable is James Wade? To be like, to stand up to somebody who's unorthodox and, just slinging them in and somehow they go in. I could see Wade kind of losing his mind over that.
He's third favorite out of the 8, too.
Wade or Sulovic?
Wade.
Well, yeah, because everybody's figuring that's what I don't understand. If Chizzy's got the second best price or Taylor did?
Taylor. What do you mean best price? Favorite? Second favorite?
Chizzy's 14-1.
Yeah. James Wade and Peter Wright are both ahead of Chizzy. Well, because
and Taylor was 15-8.
Yeah.
So almost 2-1.
Right.
They're not really giving
But
Chizzy much of a chance of beating Taylor.
Well,
I don't know
because right.
Yeah, well,
the
obviously you got to beat
odds
Van
go by
Gerwen,
the odds go by who you're playing. So, Wade and Wright have a better chance of advancing than Chisnell does because they're not playing Van Gerwen or Taylor. So,
right.
I
don't know. You think Chizzy can get by him?
Sure. If Phil Taylor's going to only hit 33% of his doubles and throw a 92,
Well, it should be interesting. Tomorrow's going to be interesting. All good matches. I mean, you want to pick your winners. I mean,
well,
I'll actually root for Sulovic.
I'll take Van Gerwen, obviously.
Yeah.
To win.
Okay.
I think Phil Taylor will win, but I don't know. You know what? I'm going to take Gerwin Price
over Peter Wright.
I'm going to run the streak.
Okay.
But I think Wade will show up and beat Menser.
Okay, so your long shot will be Gerwin.
Yeah.
I'll take. I'm going to feel stupid saying I'm going to take Menser Sulovic, but I'll take the chalk and Menser Sulovic. Who do you think's going to win it? You're looking at Van Gerwen against Gerwin Price. That's even hard to say. I'm Van Gerwen Price.
Right.
Yeah.
They're spelled differently, though.
I don't know. See anybody beating Van Gerwen?
No, I do not.
Yeah, me neither. We'll see what happens. Okay, so that's the PDC match play. Now the actual in a nutshell, because we're nuts. The actual championship dart circuit match play is also going on Friday, and we have the first round matches in front of us here. I'll read them off real quick, and then you can tell me if you have any thoughts. James Kinney plays Joe Devani. Winner plays DJ Sayer. I'm sorry, Kyle Schwarber.
Yes. How do you get that right?
Paco plays Timmy Nickel. That's a rematch match. Alex Spellman plays Gordon Dixon, and then the winners will play each other there. In the bottom quarter of this half, Dan Lobby Sr. and Scotty Buckley. I have to say Scotty's a sentimental favorite here. They're going to play each other. Winner plays Gumby. And then Dan Olson and Callie West dueling for the right to play Jason Brandon. I guess that's the southern bracket. Let's see. Third quarter has Mitch Payton playing Ken McCown. Winner faces Larry Butler. Darren Young plays Mike Patterson. So that's like a Facebook chatter match. Gary Mawson plays Robin Curry. And then the bottom half of this bracket, look at this one. Roger Carter and Donnie Joe play each other. The winner plays Chris White. David Fathom plays Joe Huffman. And Bob Seneve plays says Paul Jones. So potentially, if Seneve gets by that one, he's got to play the winner of Huffman and Fathom. And then you're either going to play in the next round after that, you either have Chris White, Roger Carter, or Donnie Joe. That's a loaded
bracket.
That's a loaded board right there.
Yeah.
Anything jump out at you here?
Well, I mean, so far right now, DJ's playing the best with Chris White, right?
You mean Kyle?
Yeah, Kyle Schwarber.
Kyle Schwarber's been playing good.
And Larry Butler as well.
Yeah.
What is that? They reseed it?
No, this is a bracket.
Yeah, but I mean, Darren Young's the 7.
Yeah. Darren Young's a 7. Well, I mean, DJ's won 2 of them.
Right.
Won 1 and came in second twice. I don't see John Part's name.
I think DJ's won 2 and Larry won 1. How many have there been? 6?
4.
4?
Yeah. And John Part won 1.
Okay.
And I don't see him
here. I know
here.
Chris White was up there in a couple
of
them.
Yeah.
Ralph's been playing well.
Yeah.
Ralph's
the 4 seed. Larry's the 2 seed. Chris White's the 3 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they've all been playing good. Dan Lobby Jr. and Timmy Nickel will be a good match. You could see Kyle Schwarber playing Gordon Dixon in the round of 8.
Yeah. I could see that happen in one of the matches.
Or you could see Kyle Schwarber play Tim Nickel in the round of 8. Or Paco.
I could, Larry Butler,
I hope
Darren
I get
Young.
there early enough to watch this because the Paco Timmy Nickel match ought to be pretty good. Timmy Nickel is seated 25th, but he actually missed an entire event, so he likely would be higher. He had some sort of issue, couldn't make it on time.
Larry Butler, Darren Young in the final 8. That'd be a good match.
It's nice to see Scott Buckley getting back from illness and playing. I like that. Dan Olson, Callie West that'll be a fun match to watch.
Lawson against Curry.
Yeah, that'll also be interesting. See any upsets? Because I mean, Fathom and Huffman. I mean, I don't know. Roger Carter and Donnie Joe. Roger's showed a little bit better form than Donnie Joe has in the events.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I could see Bob Steve beating Chris White.
Yeah, I mean
that would be a decent upset.
Yeah, looking at that bracket where you got Chris White, Roger Carter, Donnie Joe, David Fathom, Joe Huffman, Bob Seneve, and Paul Jones. That's
right.
That's probably, I would say, the toughest of the 4 quarters. Who do you like out of there?
Well, I mean, I guess I would. Do you think the bye helps Chris White? I mean, obviously it helps him for a match, but it doesn't get to
I don't think the
play
bye helps anybody.
Right.
I never think buys help anybody because you're going to play somebody that's already won a match and you're coming in cold. So it's a disadvantage, I think. But there's one less chance of you losing.
Exactly.
So you're automatically in the round of 16.
Right.
So okay, that's a good thing. But personally, no, I'm not fond of that at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It looks good for some interesting. It kind of depends how things fall, but it'd be interesting to see Ralph and Jason play. That's like a rematch. They had a good match in New Orleans. Gordon and DJ might be interesting to watch. Might get a little snarky.
I would think Darren Young could make the finals in this one.
Yeah, he'd have to get by Larry, but
right.
Yeah.
Those guys have played plenty of times, but
he first round he's playing somebody who doesn't have the pedigree that he has.
And then he's going to face either Mawson or Curry.
Yeah, and I think his record against Mawson's pretty good.
And then
but I don't know, Darren. I heard he bought a new boat. I mean, he may not.
He's not into it anymore.
We'll see
till the winter comes along.
We'll see. I don't know. You say Darren Young, it's kind of hard to be like, well, he's not going to be there at the end, because he almost always is, and his record in Nashville is pretty good too. So, yeah, that's why you play the game, though. But you could see, Larry. I could see Larry making top 8. I could see Chris White making top 8. That quarter, that bottom right
anybody's
quarter,
gonna.
That's kind of
for grabs.
That's going to be interesting to see who gets through.
Right. I like McCool.
Yeah, Ralph looks good.
Ralph
looks good the way he's been playing. Yeah, the way he's been playing. And then I don't know, Kyle Schwarber is going to have a hard time not making top 8.
Lobby the second played well.
Paco played awesome.
He lost to DJ Sayer in a good match. I mean,
I don't know that if he fell off
him
before
against
that
Dixon
match,
would be a good match.
Yeah,
Paco
and Dixon.
Yeah, and
So
then the
that's
winner of that's going to most likely have to play DJ Sayer.
So it seems like there's a little more interest in the top left and bottom right quarters.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be interesting. I'll try to get there early, and then we'll have a good report on this next week. Because there's a CDC event that starts the weekend after this.
Okay.
So it's going to be interesting. If I play like horrible in Nashville, I'm going to reassess everything. But right now I'm planning on going to St. Louis. I still need a roommate, by the way, Gumby. So where are we? You haven't played at all.
No.
We got nothing to say about that.
No, I threw some darts at Dan's going away party, but that means nothing.
Dan went away?
He's moving to North Carolina.
North Carolina?
Taking the family. Well, that's where he's from.
Oh, going back home?
Yeah.
Oh, it's too bad.
So
he's the kind of short guy that had like the little scooter or something.
Scooter?
Dan?
Yeah,
Or didn't he have like some weird little motorbike thing? Which
no,
one is Dan?
He just rides the bike. Dan's the short, stocky guy.
The black hair.
Yeah, very short hair. Yeah.
Okay. I think I know who you're talking about.
No, not that. Rob has more hair. Rob's the black hair.
Okay.
Who's also he's short. Rob is short and stocky. Dan is short and built.
Okay, Rob is like the yeah.
Dan's the
Dan's
exercise buff.
Okay.
That's ripped.
Dan's ripped.
Yeah.
So who's leaving?
Dan.
The ripped guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's from Carolina?
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't know that. Yeah, and then Rob, I got it.
You got it.
Okay.
But anyway, so that's
I should stop by more often.
And before that, I hadn't picked up a dart in like 3 months.
Are you working tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. I was thinking of going to throw tonight.
Oh, yeah. No, I have to work tomorrow.
Oh. Killjoy.
But yeah, so no, I need to pick up the darts again.
Are you going to play League in the fall?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I probably will, but I should.
I don't know.
But we'll see what happens.
I don't know if it's worth it. I mean, League darts is just so there's no juice in it. You know, there's juice going to tournaments, but the bar leagues every Tuesday night, and then
I know.
You know.
By the way,
anything in the chat?
Gumby dropped the ball. He'll let you know something this weekend.
Thanks, Gumby. I will see you on Friday. I'm going to try to get in. This thing starts at 2. So everybody needs to get to the hotel early and watch this stuff. If I wanted to make Nashville at 2, how early would I have to leave in the morning?
From
here?
Here?
Like 5?
Nashville's like, I believe it's like 7 hours, right?
Well, it depends on traffic and stuff. I mean, I may take 57 down there because 65 was like...
Yeah, I think if you left by 5, you should make it.
At 5 in the morning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Nashville might be longer than that. We drove it once.
It's usually 9 hours, but
Okay.
I stop. I don't really rush it.
Yeah.
And you can make better time at 5 in the morning, and then they raised the speed limit on 57, so you could probably do 75
you'd
all the
still be
way
pushing
to
it to get there by
Metropolis.
2 if you left at 5.
525 miles. So
I'd leave
6
at 4.
times 8, 6 times 9 is 54.
Right.
Right. I think the algorithm that like Google Maps and everybody uses is like about 55 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour, something like that. So you're looking at 9 hours. So if you leave, and it's no time change. So if you leave at 5 and 9 is
2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to get there by 2,
Yeah.
or it starts at 2?
No, it starts at 2.
Oh,
So
okay. But if
to
you
see
got
the
there
first
right,
round matches,
if you got there right when it started, yeah.
Well, I don't need to watch them set up the boards.
Sure,
and,
exactly.
you
Right.
know, talk
Yeah.
stuff. You know, if
Yeah,
they
'cause
run
you'll
this,
probably make it in 8.5.
If they run this on 4 boards,
Is really what you'd probably.
they're
going to
be cutting it
8.5
close.
hours, so.
Yeah, they're gonna if they run this on 4 boards, which because you need chalkers and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It may take a while. I don't know. 5 in the morning. Ugh. All right.
Who's going to be driving first?
I don't know. Flip a coin.
Yeah.
Depends. Probably me. All right. We'll see everyone in Nashville Friday at
Good
the
luck.
Maxwell House Millennium, and we'll be back next week. We'll have a report on the PDC match play that'll be wrapping up Sunday, and the CDC match play on Friday. I might tweet results out. I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
And then you'll continue to not play in the meantime.
That's the protocol going on right now.
All right.
Yeah.
Try to prepare for the show better next week.
I'll do my best.
We'll try harder next week, like they say on PTI. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll Dart Talk to you next week. Everybody, safe travels to Nashville. Look at that. Isn't that believable? We'll Dart Talk to everybody next week. Worst show ever. We admit it.
We followed up the worst show ever with the worst show ever.
We'll show you what a bad show looks like.
Yeah.
All right. Dart Talk to everyone next week.